It's going to be a very different Anzac Day this year to what we've seen in recent years. Over recent decades, the crowds have gradually got bigger and bigger at the Australian War Memorial and at memorials right around the country. Let's go live to the Veterans Affairs Minister, Darren Chester, who's at the War Memorial today. Minister, thanks so much for your time. What is going to, first of all, if we can start with the national service, what's happening at the War Memorial on Anzac Day? How will it be different?
Well, you're right, Kieran. It will be very different to previous years, but at its heart, Anzac Day is a chance for a grateful nation to say a simple thank you for your service. Thank you to the more than 2 million Australians who've served in uniform over the past 100 years. Thank you to those who serve today, and thank you to the families who support them. But unfortunately, this year, we won't be gathering in large numbers to say that thank you. We'll be doing it privately. So people will be able to gather in their own lounge rooms or driveways or front nature strips and pay their respects that way. But here behind me at the War Memorial in Canberra, there will be a private service. It will be the national service. It will be broadcast live on television where the Prime Minister, the Governor-General, the Opposition Leader will be here along with some Defence Force personnel. But it will be a low-key service in the sense that the public won't be able to attend, but we'll still be able to pay our respects and say thank you to those veterans who've given so much to our country.
So the broader community, as I said, with this, there has been an increased awareness, I think. Certainly the patriotism that we saw around the big anniversaries, the numbers have been huge at the National War Memorial, haven't they? But now this year people are being told, stay at home, and the phrase is light up the dawn at home.
Yeah, absolutely, Kieran. And Australians are patriotic at their heart. They want to say thank you to our veterans and recognise all the things we have to be thankful for. I mean, the freedoms we enjoy today have been hard fought by previous generations, and normally on Anzac Day there will be people gathering at cenotaphs and memorials in little country towns, in big cities. I mean, normally here at Canberra there'll be tens of thousands of people gather for the march and the dawn service down Anzac Parade, but we just can't do that this year, and it's disappointing and it's frustrating. I know that'll be hard for some of our veterans. So what we need to do is demonstrate our respect in other ways. So the Light Up the Dawn campaign is about each of us going outside our own homes and making a silent vigil and recognising and respecting our veterans. And the other thing I think we can do and we should try to do is reach out to a mate. If you've got a mate who serves in the Australian Defence Force, give them a call on the day and say good day and say thank you for what you do for us. If you know a veteran in your own family or someone in your own street or in your own town, give them a call and say good day. Let them know that we're thinking about them on this day, because Anzac Day is an emotional day and it will be a difficult day for some of our veterans this year. So I think they need to know, we need to show them that we respect them, we care for them, and we're very thankful for what they've done for our country.
And there is an element of history repeating if we go back to just after World War I with the Spanish flu. The original marches and Anzac Day commemorations had to be delayed a year, didn't they, because of that pandemic, and now over 100 years later we're seeing the same thing once again.
Well, you're a good student of history, Kieran. That's right. I think it was 1919 during the Spanish influenza, the Anzac Day. We're just going with a bit of wind here, Kieran, but you're right. In 1919, the Spanish flu prevented the Anzac Day parades from occurring. And again, I think in 1942, when the risk of bombings in World War II prevented some Anzac Day activities as well. So, you know, we've been through difficulties as a nation before. We've had adversity, we've had real challenges to overcome, and it's because of this never say die attitude of our Anzacs, the men and women who serve in uniform, their willingness to never give up and support their mates. These are all traits and values we can learn from and commemorate on Anzac Day. So I think we can still do it this year, albeit differently, but we can still do it in a way that shows that genuine respect for those who served.
Is there anything happening at those international sites where we see large numbers of Australians each year, whether it be at Gallipoli or Villers-Bretonneux? What's happening internationally, or will they fall silent once again?
We made that call a couple of months ago in the end in consultation with the local authorities. So we obviously work in close partnership with the French government, the Turkish government and parts of the Pacific where we work with the local communities, we made that decision to not proceed with the service because of the uncertainty around the coronavirus outbreak, and we just weren't confident that we could conduct those services safely. And as it's turned out, the situation actually has deteriorated in many of those countries, and it wouldn't have been possible to hold the services this year in any case. So I think it was the right decision. It was a difficult decision to make. We weren't rushing into that, obviously, and we recognise that a lot of Australians want to travel to commemorate their forebears and to go to places where they know their loved ones died in battle. But this just isn't the year for that, and I'm sad to say it. It's a difficult thing to do, but this is not the year to be travelling for those sorts of commemorative activities. And hopefully, if we get this right, and the trends are looking good in terms of the health crisis we're facing, but if we get this right, we can restore travel as soon as possible, and people can go about their normal lives. But this Anzac Day, we're just asking people, please stay at home. Commemorate Anzac Day at home. If you want to, make some Anzac biscuits with the kids, have your own gunfire breakfast, but ring a mate. If you know a veteran or someone who's serving, ring them up, say good day, Skype with them, send them a text. Just let people know you're thinking of them on this day of all days.
Yep, and it's an unusual one, but one where we can still pause and reflect and remember. Thank you very much for your time, Veterans Affairs Minister Darren Chester. Appreciate it.